Okay. Screen still on. Okay, so I appreciate us for making it to this meeting, and I hope it will be very educative for every one of us. I appreciate Professor Chioma Asuzu and every dignitary, we are all dignitaries, for being present at this webinar. And so I'll be speaking on Psycho-Oncology Society of Nigeria, who we are. I am Elizabeth Akinodoye, the president of the Psycho-Oncology Society of Nigeria. So who we are. POSON was founded on the 24th of April, 2009. And we joined the International Psycho-Oncology Society Federation in 2011. So the IPOS Federation is a body that brings all psycho-oncology societies from every nation together. We are a multidisciplinary national organization representing the subspecialty of psycho-oncology in Nigeria. Our aspiration is to see evidence-based psychosocial oncology support services and research integrated into cancer care in Nigeria. So, our people, from the top left, we have the president of the association, Dr. Elizabeth Akinodoye. And following, we have Professor Chioma Asuzu, who is the founder of the Psycho-Oncology Society of Nigeria. And we call her the mother of psycho-oncology in Africa. And next to her, we have Dr. Foluke Sarimiye, who is the treasurer of the society. And she also serves as the chair for Education and Training Committee. We have Dr. Vitalis Okwo, is the vice president of the association. At the bottom left, we have Mr. Eneton Elisha, who is the secretary of the association, and Ms. Blessing Joseph, assistant secretary. Dr. Joyce Tewase is the vice president too, and Dr. Eriosho Abayomi is the public relations officer. And so we all work as a team from the different parts of the country where we work to help move the work of psycho-oncology forward wherever we find ourselves. So our board of trustees, comprise of Professor Dapo Campbell, is a radiation oncologist, and he has been a pillar of support to the association and so because of psycho-oncology even before its inception. And we talk about the three musketeers, referring to Professor Dapo Campbell, Professor Judo Harry, and Dr. Mariho, who started the practice of psycho-oncology even before we came to know about that field of psycho-oncology by gathering patients together and psycho-educating them about their diagnosis, screening for different levels of psychological disorders. And Professor Chioma Asuzu is the founder, like I've said earlier, and Professor Michael Asuzu is also a champion of psycho-oncology, being a community health physician and epidemiologist. He is very active in pursuing the cause of psycho-oncology in Nigeria and Africa in general. Then, the reason for the day, the World Psycho-Oncology Day, is Jimmie Holland. And Jimmie Holland was born on the 9th of April, 1928. And that is why the World Psycho-Oncology Day is tagged, put for 9th of April to mark the wonderful work that Dr. Jimmie Holland has done in the field of psycho-oncology. She's actually the mother of psycho-oncology because she actually bettered this field and made it a more formal discipline in oncology field. And by 1984, she founded the International Psycho-Oncology Society, IPOS. Dr. Jimmie Holland has worked tirelessly during her lifetime to ensure that psycho-oncology is spread throughout the world, not just something that stays in the US. And I'd say she was partial in her interest in Africa. And this is seen in the several meetings she has had with oncology professionals at different categories and levels in Africa to ensure that psycho-oncology is standing strong, not just in Nigeria, but in every state, in every country of the continent. She had a reason sometimes to sponsor Nigerians and people from other African countries to attend conferences, to have observership, see how psycho-oncology is run in practically at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. Jimmie Holland was very passionate about psycho-oncology, and we are committed to ensuring that her dream lives on and that every center that takes care of cancer patients in Nigeria, in Africa, and in the world have psycho-oncology at the center of their activities. So what are our objectives? Our objectives comprise that of providing psychosocial support to all those affected by cancer. And we equip professionals with psycho-oncology expertise through organizing training workshops, through organizing conferences, and even educating our colleagues at the different centers where we find ourselves on counseling skills, on distress assessment, and how to support patients and their caregivers. We also advance research in cancer care and psychosocial support. And because we know that research is the only way to identify the best approach to psychological support, is also the way to identify where problems are, where the gaps are, and for us to be able to close the gap clinically. So we advance research in psycho-oncology. We also advocate integration of psychosocial care in oncology. There's a need to give attention to psychosocial care, and we mobilize resources to assist patients who may need this, and they often do need this from time to time. Our activities. As a society, we've been involved in several activities, including training programs. We even had a TED Fund grant to provide training programs for oncology clinicians in Ibadan. And that program was very successful. Annually, we have our conferences, our psycho-oncology national workshops and conferences that we organize from state to state. We had the 13th edition last year and planning to have the 14th edition in this year. We take part in community engagement, going to church, going to community primary health care facilities, mosques, the marketplaces, to engage people, to address their fears about cancer, and to give them information that will enable them go for screening, to remove stigma. We engage in research, we engage in advocacy and collaboration. As a society, we work with other NGOs and other society to ensure that psychosocial support for cancer patients are provided. And even within the clinic, we train clinicians to be able to provide psychosocial support to cancer patients. Sometimes those supports could be led by nurses or social workers, dietitians. We educate and encourage people to be able to do that. So our vision and core values. Wow. Someone said my slide is not moving. But our vision and core values, our vision is to see a national integration of psychosocial care to improve health outcomes and adjustment for everyone affected by cancer. Our core values include compassion, excellence, interdisciplinary collaboration, and altruism. So why psycho-oncology matters? Please excuse me, is my slide moving?
It's not moving.
Wow.
So you can go ahead.
Okay. No, it's not.
Sorry for that. So why psycho-oncology matters? Over 35 million new cancer cases are predicted in 2050. And that tells us how huge the burden of cancer could be. And about 1 in 5 people will develop cancer in their lifetime. That's the WHO 2024 quote. So approximately 1 in 9 men and 1 in 12 women will die from this cancer disease. So psycho-oncology matters because even in the general population, 1 in 4 persons struggle with a mental health problem. And 5 of the top 7 common symptoms in cancer patients are psychological in nature. And about 50% of cancer patients report one psychological symptom or the other. Mental health, according to WHO 2021, is a key component of overall health and well-being. And psycho-oncology addresses the psychological response of people to cancer. To achieve quality care, routine oncology practices must be integrated into cancer care. So the final slide says get involved. How can you get involved? You can get involved by becoming a member of the Psycho-Oncology Society of Nigeria. You can get involved by volunteering with us. You can be a sponsor of the Psycho-Oncology training program in Nigeria. You could invite us to your state, to your hospital, to provide psycho-oncology training. You could sponsor a conference, and you can support us financially. And this is our account number, POSON UBA, account number 204-883-9934. And you can contact us on email via info@posononline.org. And our website is posononline.org. And so that's where I'll be rounding off my presentation for today. Thank you so very much for your attention.
Thank you so much. So I would like to call on Professor Susan to take off. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay.
Thank you, ma. Thank you so much, Dr. Elizabeth, for the wonderful overview of the Psycho-Oncology Society of Nigeria. And we look forward to many people joining us. I would like to welcome Professor Suzu to take up the panelist section for the program. Thank you, ma.
Okay, I just want to make sure that this is the screen that I want to. No, I don't think so. Something is wrong somewhere. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I wish to welcome all of us to this program, the first of its kind in Nigeria and also in the world. And I wish to say congratulations and happy birthday to Jimmie Holland. If she has been alive, she would have been celebrating her 97th birthday today. And so congratulations to a woman with a large heart. So I am Chioma Asuzu, Professor of Clinical Psychology and Psycho-Oncology and a mental health practitioner. I'm also the Vice President of International Psycho-Oncology Society. I am also representing this International Psycho-Oncology Society at this forum. I'm using this opportunity to welcome all of us on behalf of our president, Professor Windy. So we are here now to celebrate this great woman, Jimmie Holland, the founder of International Psycho-Oncology Society, a woman with a large heart, a generous woman, a woman that has Africa in her heart, has Africa in a special place in her heart. She worked so hard to see that international psycho-oncology is everywhere in the world. And International Psycho-Oncology Society, through it, giving practices, enabling people to give psychosocial care to cancer patients so that patients can have high quality of life and satisfaction during their cancer journey. So it is a great privilege for me to really moderate this session and talk about this woman and talk about International Psycho-Oncology Society. International Psycho-Oncology Society is almost all over 120 countries, and we have been doing a lot in the world to make sure that this special care is integrated in the holistic care of cancer patients in the world. In fact, distress assessment is the 6th vital sign, and we're encouraging every country, every Ministry of Health to make sure that psycho-oncology is practiced in all the cancer centers in the world. So now we are in Nigeria. The president has already illustrated and outlined who we are and what we are doing. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go ahead straight for us to have this panel discussion on some issues about psycho-oncology. And I'm going to start with the head of department of radiation oncology. You know that person, that Dr. Ayorinde Folashire, and I will be asking him, Dr. Folashire, you are welcome to this program. And Dr. Folashire, please, from your clinical experience. Good afternoon, you are welcome. From your clinical experience.
I'm actually on a journey, so I had to pack so that I can join this meeting.
Yes.
Hopefully, because my network may be bad, so that's why I have to.
Yes, my share, no problem. So, from your clinical experience, how often do emotional or psychological concerns emerge from cancer treatment? And how do you currently address them?
Thank you, ma'am. Emotional disturbance goes a long way in cancer patients. We know that starting from the diagnosis, the news that one has a cancer, it's not a pleasant one. And so from there, patients generally will start to have psychological issues that need Hello?
Hello, we are hearing you. Please, if you are not
okay,
speaking,
so
you could help us by muting yourself.
It's an issue that all cancer patients goes through. And because of that, they need to, the way to handle them usually is for the psycho-oncology unit team to be able to handle it. But in usage, we have a psycho-oncology clinic in which our patients are being counseled, and they have opportunity even to meet the psycho-oncologist team one-on-one. And so there they will be able to discuss their issue, and it can be resolved even at that point. It can also be escalated if there is a need to do so. Have I answered your question, ma'am?
Yes, thank you very much. Before I get back to you, I would like to ask Dr. Elizabeth Akiodonye and to contribute by letting us know some unique mental health risks that cancer patients face, and how are these risks different from general psychiatric populations?
Oh, thank you very much, Ma, for that question. But I think I need to just start by saying that each cancer patient's experience is unique. But generally, a cancer diagnosis can lead to feelings of sadness, loss, and a sense of hopelessness, which can escalate into depression if not given attention to. Also, the worry and fear with cancer, including the fear of recurrence, can trigger or worsen pre-existing anxiety or even lead to new anxiety disorders. And it is a common response to distress. Mental health problems, challenges is a common response to distress and the uncertainty of cancer as well as its treatment. The issues can significantly impact how patients are able to adhere to their treatment, their quality of life, and even survival. So cancer treatment, especially, let's say surgery, can lead to physical changes that impact the body image and self-esteem. Even the sense of who I am can be impacted sometimes by cancer treatment. And patients may experience grief due to the loss of their health, the loss of certain body parts, and the lifestyle they had before diagnosis. There is that change. We talk about new normal when cancer diagnosis comes in. And so patients also experience grief. The illness and its treatment can put a strain on relationships with people and their friends. Especially when we think about the colossal amount that goes into treating cancer and the emotional burden that caregivers may feel. Some may want to there could be a strain in relationships. And so the constant worry about cancer returning can be a significant source of stress and anxiety. So cancer can also force patients to reevaluate their life, leading to questions about the meaning and purpose of life. So a sort of existential crisis could come up when an individual gets a cancer diagnosis. So in brief, having mental illness within the cancer space differs from general psychiatric illness in terms of the disease burden, the treatment side effects, some of which can also mimic symptoms of psychological problems, and then the expectations from all and sundry that a patient should be strong, presents unique mental health risk for cancer patients, compared to the general psychiatric population. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Miss Olushola Akakbo, is she around? Miss
Yes.
Olushola Akakbo.
I can see her.
Is she around?
Yes.
Okay, please. We know that in our experiences in the clinic, when some of the patients come around, they have a lot of stories to share. Please, can you kindly share some of your personal experiences along your cancer journey?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. My name is Olushola Akakbo. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. I feel so honored to be here. So I will start from the beginning when I got my diagnosis. So I actually used a private hospital when I had a lumpectomy. So the histology came out and the doctor broke the news to me. Sincerely, I don't know how or how it happened, but I took the diagnosis calmly. I was just indifferent because I was still like in a denial stage that can't be my result. Probably there's a mix-up or there's a mistake and all that. So going forward, I started going to a teaching hospital. The first day I saw the surgeon, he was like, they are going to take out both breasts. That was when I started feeling some type of way. I was now like, because he didn't even explain so much. He just told me, now they've told you that you have breast cancer. I said, yes, that I don't understand, but the rose carcinoma, He said, yes, the breast is bad, and I'm going to take both breasts off. I was now like, but it's one breast that is bad. But he didn't give me so much explanation. So that went by, and I was worried. I was worried. And I was still in denial state. I was like, well, me, I am very sure that is a mistake. It's not my results. So I did second opinion. I did third opinion, and it was still the same thing everyone was saying. So when I felt better was when I saw another surgeon on my second visit. And she was more calmer. She explained everything. She told me to prepare myself. I was going to go through chemo. I was going to have my breast removed. She explained the process and everything. And I felt a little bit better. I was like, it's not that bad. She explained I could have a reconstruction. She explained so many things which made it so easy for me. Unlike the first surgeon I met that my brain was upside down. So going forward, I saw her another time, but then I was like in a grief state. I was not responding to anything anybody was saying because I was trying to like take it all in and see how to move forward. So she was just talking to me, then I was just nodding. I was not responding to anybody or anything. Then she now referred me to see a psychiatric doctor. And I told her that I'm fine, there's nothing wrong with me. And I started responding to her. She now said, still yet, that she feels I need to talk to someone. And I said, okay. I didn't actually see a psychiatric doctor. But moving forward, when I had that, I was like, okay, I was going to do everything it takes within my power and with God to like be there for myself and go through this. So I had all my treatments. I was so happy. I was lucky with doctors, oncology. I had my treatment, everything. I was so eager to get done with treatments. Nobody or anything prepared me, but life can never be the same. And I had to adjust to my new normal. So that was when it now dawned on me. I got depressed after my treatment. It was a very, very dark place that I pray never, ever to go there. And I got through that with the help of my doctors too, because I was still talking to my doctors and they were telling me, okay, it's possible to get this way after a cancer treatment because you want to move on to normal. You find out that you can't move on, you can't do so many things like before. So I accepted it. I found solace in God, and I got out of depression pretty fast. So I was more focused on myself. I was doing things that were making me happy. I was avoiding any negativity or anything or anyone that would make me feel some type of way. I embraced for 1 year. I didn't look into a mirror. I looked into a mirror. I saw my surgery scars. I embraced my scars. That even people around the house, they were now like, I cannot walk around without bra. I cannot walk around with my one breast because I have accepted, okay, this is where I am, and I felt better, and things begin to move better from then on. So after that one thing I know that I still struggle with, and I think I'm talking about it now, and it's getting better. Okay, for the fact that I have to come out on social media to seek for assistance, because that was the only weapon I had to win cancer. There was this, when you come out, everyone was calling to, okay, be sure it's not fraud and everything. So my phone was always ringing then, that I started putting off my phone. Even people around me don't know up till now. I'm trying so hard, but I don't put ringing tone on my phone. And when I'm around anyone that their phone rings, it triggers me. It makes me, all the memories just keep coming. The way people were calling just to confirm, some with their unsolicited advice, some with hurtful words and all that. So that is something I still struggle with. But I think I don't want to talk about it before, but I think I'm talking about it now, and I feel I'm getting to a place that, okay, I'm getting better, and I'll move past that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Solushola. Well, thank you for sharing with us. And that is what we want. That is why we're celebrating this, to create awareness to people about the importance of psycho-oncology. how they need help, assessment of distress. Doctors should know communication skills. How do we break barriers? How do we communicate to people with love and compassion? And this is the domain of psycho-oncology. This domain is highly needed along the cancer care continuum. It's highly needed on oncology practice. We cannot practice oncology, diagnosis, care, treatment, surgical, chemotherapy, radiotherapy, without including psychosocial care. It is inevitable. And so I will apologize to you for times you felt very bad and times where nobody could care for you. But now I'm sure you will tell people about psychosocial care and where they could get it. Once again, I thank you so much for coming on board. I want to talk to Surveyor Okegene to please share with us about how it feels to care for one who has been one's loved one that has been affected by cancer. And did it affect your emotional well-being?
Thank you very much, man. I've been having network issue here. I want to thank you again for this opportunity to share. And I also want to congratulate all members worldwide who have deemed it fit to bring this program in place. Like you know, man, I sincerely want to say that this program has been a very powerful one. And I'm looking at it that it's going to be a continuous one that will get people well impacted in a positive form. Now, the reality about this is that I have been affected mentally and otherwise in the process of caring for cancer patients. 2014 was when I went through that hell. It wasn't a pleasant one.
Same network has happened.
Your network? Okay. And while we are waiting for him to come on board, I wish to recognize the presence of Professor Ali Gombe. Professor Ali Gombe is a Director of Clinical Services in the NICRAT, Nigerian Institute of Cancer Research and Training. And he's very much here with us. So please go ahead. I just want to recognize Professor Ali Gombe before his time comes.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Surveyor, go ahead. Maybe you can go off the video so that it can be easier.
Okay, better. So 2014, in short, precisely 2009, 2010 was really hell for me as an individual and as a family. My wife, my late wife, had, she was pregnant with virtually 6 months pregnant. And we were never aware of anything called cancer. So that very day she went to the hospital for a clinic. That day was a clinic day. And she complained. And they told her, that the doctor said, we suspect that there's a lump in your breast. And she was referred to a doctor, a private doctor who works in UBTH. And while they referred her, the following day, myself, I was around then, we went there to the hospital. On getting there, after all checks are done, a biopsy was taken and was also, taken for a test. You see, from that day that the lump was taken for, test, I tell you, from that very day was when our program started. There was nobody for us to run to go and, you know, seek counsel. We were just on our own. My wife and I, we will look at ourselves like this. There's this kind of deep breath, you know, that will come in. She will just look at me and she will breathe in. Myself, I will also have that deep breath. We were not, no sleep, nothing. I was just looking at her, a pregnant woman, 6 months pregnant. It was hell for us. We were not thinking straight. What do we do? What are we going to do? But eventually, after about 2 weeks, I went to pick the result. And the doctor checked through and he said, sorry, I just do not know how to present this to you, but in all sincerity, the lumps, the biopsy shows that it is cancerous. I tell you, from that day, it was like the heavens are falling on both of us. And that was where the whole thing started. Quickly, we rushed down to the hospital. He now referred us to UBTH, where the operation was carried out. Now, it affected my well-being in the sense that I was now thinking, so you mean that I will now be a man who has a wife without a breast? You know, as an African man, you know, there is a way we think. You know, I had that emotion was really, I was really impacted. I said, so I'll have a wife that doesn't have breasts. How am I going to face her? But in other words, I also look at it and say, well, I think life first. And I was also looking at the baby also in her womb. And at the end of the day, when the operation was fully carried out, the form also was also another problem. We were looking at how we can, you know, I couldn't go to work the way I ought to work, the way I was struggling as a surveyor. Then I was in register. I was looking, how can this be? Was not the problem for us. So thank God for the parents, thank God for family members who, you know, joined in trying to see that she is okay. So while that is on my own as an husband, I have to go and look for money. I have to go and hustle. I will go now to look for money, you know, where I work. And at the end of the day, you know, I will come with what I have. And there was that, the money was never enough to use. The money was never. So each time I was always feeling headache, serious headache. And you see me crying inside. I was thinking straight. So that was a very strong impact on me. And then on my wife, who had that, you know, who was declared that she has cancer. On her own, she was just looking at herself that, oh, you mean I want to die now? On me, I was also looking at she want to, and there was nobody to counsel us. There was no psycho-oncology as this. So that it was a strong impact on us, and we suffered that till 2014 when she finally passed out. And I tell you, and because of all of this that happened to me, all that I went through, and I said, wow, I said, I wouldn't want anyone to go through this kind of, you know, this kind of pain, this kind of mental stress and all of that. And that was how OK Creative Future Foundation was founded in 2017. So I must tell you, the impact as a caregiver was really massive on me. Till date, that impact is still right in me. I will tell you, it's still, each time I see a cancer patient, you know, I'll refer back to my late wife. And I'll say, oh, I wish everybody, you know, in this world can understand what these people or what the caregivers are going through. So it's really impactful. And I want to thank everyone that is here today, that each time we see one caring for cancer patients, they also are going through a very deep psychological, mental stress that is really not palatable. They are more like, they are also like the person who is going through the cancer care too. This same person who is caring for the cancer patient. Because by that time, all you are doing, you no longer, care for yourself as such. You are trying to see how the person is, never without times I felt ill, I felt sick. Okay. And all those who were around me who were also trying to take care to help.
I think you'll be rounding up now, so we could ask other people before our time goes off. Okay. So you may still have another opportunity to
thank you very much, ma'am. Okay,
yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. I have recognized Professor Ali Gombe, who is here with us this afternoon, representing the DG NICRAT, Professor Usman Aliyu. So, Professor Ali Gombe, we will ask you the next question. I also want to recognize Dr. Chika Dibia Ukoma. Here is the Vice President of National Cancer Society. You are also welcome on board. So, Professor Ali Gombe, please, we want to know how you have been mainstreaming mental health services or psychological services into existing cancer care program across the public hospitals in Nigeria, across the cancer centers in Nigeria.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. The Vice President of National Psycho-Oncology Society, Professor Chioma Asuzu, the President of POSON, and my teacher, Dr. Falashere, and my colleagues, Dr. Sarimia, and other, a very good afternoon, or evening rather, to you. The National Institute for Cancer Research and Treatment, part of the first thing that the Institute did as the agency in charge of cancer control in the country was to launch an important document, which is the National Strategic Cancer Control Plan. National Cancer Strategic Cancer Control Plan, it has 8 priorities. And two of the priorities in the National Strategic Cancer Control Plan are survivorship and hospice and palliative care. That has a lot to do with psycho-oncology, whether it's survivors or those that have advanced disease. So, and if you also look at the document, there are specific areas in the documents that have mentioned psycho-oncology as one of the main components of care for cancer patients in the country. And also suggested, please, somebody is talking. Can you mute yourself? Okay. So the National Strategic Cancer Control Plan has Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So the National Strategic Cancer Control Plan has subsections that also discuss aspects of psycho-oncology and also integrating those priorities in terms of survivorship and process and palliative care into the cancer care that we have in the country. And this is what we have been using in order to make, implement cancer control activities in the country. The other aspect is also knowing what you have before you can know what to do and what to implement and integrate into the cancer care. So National NICRAT has done 2 things. One is the impact review. In the impact review, it's an assessment that was done by the IAEA in collaboration with the National Agency for Research on Cancer and also the World Health Organization whereby a team of experts, national team of experts, was gathered by AAEA, and also a national focal team was formed by NICRAT, and this focal team worked with the national team of experts. The international experts had an in-country mission whereby in October 2024 they visited the country. Part of the things that they assessed the whole cancer care continuum, but part of the things that they assessed was the hospice and palliative care facilities that are most in the country, which also includes the psycho-oncology aspects that we have. And also, we have the drafts now of the impact review. We are working on it, and probably in the next few weeks there will be a final report. The idea is to have a bankable document to inform future cancer control plans. So that aspect of psycho-oncology in the impact review suggestions that we are going to have, we are also going to implement them. The other aspect is the mapping of the oncology resources in the country. I started with this because I know that you need data to actually adequately plan and before implement and execute what you have. Without data, you will not be able to do that. And so we have also mapped out oncology resources. We reached out to more than 150 cancer diagnosis and treatment centers across the country in order to have information on the type of activities they have. Do they have survivorship programs? Do they have hospice and palliative care programs? Do they do psycho-oncology programs? Do they have a unit psycho-oncology? Do they have specialist psycho-oncology? So as to understand what activities happen in these cancer centers and how best to implement them. And now, having said that, we understand that there is a lot of gap also in terms of psycho-oncology training across the country. So we started last year by doing a psycho-oncology workshop across the 6 political zones. We did one in Lagos, in Maiduguri, in Sokoto, in Benin, and Enugu, and then in North Central in Abuja, in order to cover all the 6 geographical zones. And during those days of training, we actually trained 90 per zone. That's about 540 participants across the country. And we look at one aspect. Psycho-oncology is very broad. So the aspect that we looked at is in breaking bad news. We felt that there is conspiracy of silence in the in hospitals, whereby when diagnosis of cancer is made, they usually just channel it to the cancer specialist without actually talking to the patient. So we felt that all kind of doctors, nurses, should be able to discuss with patients on their diagnosis, even if they are not in the or if they are not oncologists or working in the oncology clinics. They should be able to discuss with patients on how to get those diagnoses before referring them to the oncology clinic. And that is why this program took place. It took place around September last year, and it was a success. I believe some of the people on the call here were also participants or facilitators of those programs. And then in ICW, we also looked at, we reviewed the National Strategic Plan for Hospice and Palliative Care. We gathered stakeholders in hospice and palliative care to review the document that was in place, which has not been implemented, which NICRAT inherited from the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare. I think it was developed in 2021. So we now looked at it in ICW under the stakeholders meeting, discuss, way forward, and there was recommendations that came out of that meeting. So these recommendations are also part of the recommendations that NICRAT is using to, implement cancer control activities in terms of psycho-oncology, integrating psycho-oncology into cancer centers across the country. And part of the activities, part of the recommendations of the stakeholders is what we are trying to use and implement our work plan for 2025 budget. Now, the other aspect is also partnership. We have been able to extend our hands of partnership to some organizations, and most especially to Professor Chioma Asuzu, who is the Vice President of IPOS, and also, who will take over soon as the President of IPOS, which we feel that is a very great thing for this country, and we should utilize this position maximally in terms of psycho-oncology care for our patients. And so coming to 2025, we already have in our work plan implementation of the hospital and palliative care policy, which we are going to use the recommendation that arising from the stakeholders meeting. And one of the things that we want to do is actually to launch a psycho-oncology clinics, in the cancer setup of the in the cancer centers that we call them the cancer center of excellence that we have across the country, so that there will be proper, formal and well integrated psycho-oncology practice in those hospitals. Even while doing so, we also understand that there is going to be capacity, because it's not all cancer centers that have psycho-oncologists, trained specialist psycho-oncologists, or maybe psychiatrists interested in cancer, or psychologists that are interested in cancer care. So all those things need to be considered before we roll out this launching. However, we will be assisting the hospitals in creating psycho-oncology clinics, and some of these materials, instruments, equipment, furniture, and other things that they may require, and also consider if there is training, some form of training, if the budget will allow for that. We'll also be offering that kind of training, so that when we launch this across the across the cancer centers of excellence, we'll be able to support them and also allow, help the hospitals to integrate, so that when patients come, they will have full psychosocial care in the clinics that they see, those doctors and nurses. So by and large, these are some of the activities that the National Institute of Cancer Research and Treatment has been engaging to, in order to integrate psycho-oncology into cancer care. Thank you.
Ma, you are muted. Professor Asuzu, you are muted, ma.
We are very happy to hear all these things you have said, and we are looking forward to more collaborations, because I think the time has come. Because International Psycho-Oncology Society, the sixth mandate is that this threat should be assessed, integrated in all the new cancer patients that are diagnosed. And I think Nigeria has gotten there, and I think we can do it. We can do it. And I'm looking forward that time will come when patients, when they are diagnosed, their distress are assessed, and we commence the psychosocial intervention immediately. Thank you very much, Prof. And I don't know if Professor Dr. Chikadibia is around to please, we just want to find out as well how far the Nigerian Cancer Society is going on with integration of psychosocial care.
Thank you, Prof. I'm happy to be here today, happy hearing this testimony from our patients and our survivors. I'm here representing Professor Omonisi Abidemi, the President and the CEO of Nigerian Cancer Society. I would love to be here today, but presently engaged in a West African College examination, which is happening now in Ibadan. And just a few, and I asked you to represent him here today. I want to say that as Nigeria Cancer Society, which is the umbrella body of all cancer advocates organizations in Nigeria, and NCS is here because of cancer patients. And one thing that's common to all cancer patients is the psychosocial impact it has on them, from the diagnosis through treatment, even post-treatment. All cancer patients go through psychosocial event one way or the other. So as Nigerian Cancer Society, we are happy to collaborate with the Psycho-Oncology Society of Nigeria and the extension, the International Psycho-Oncology Society. And I congratulate you on this wonderful day celebrating psycho-oncology in Nigeria. The president of Nigeria Cancer Society has asked me in his words to say that he is very happy, his administration is willing and ready to collaborate with Psycho-Oncology Society of Nigeria, and the leadership and all psycho-oncology practitioners in Nigeria in creating awareness and the role of psycho-oncology in the management of cancer care continues. He has also asked me to say that here we have also in this administration established the setup of a Psycho-Oncology Committee in Nigeria Cancer Society. And in the due course, we're working with the leadership of the Psycho-Oncology Society of Nigeria in appointing members to this committee. And through this committee, we're working with you to create a more awareness to see how we can be able to establish and set up psycho-oncology clinic and units in our teaching hospitals and cancer care management. Just like you said, we need to actually join in creating this awareness. Just like also want to use the opportunity to say that Nigeria Cancer Society shares completely the vision of Dr. Jimmie Holland and the founder of Psycho-Oncology in the world. And to say that the mental health and emotional well-being is just as important as the physical treatment of the patient. So we as a Cancer Society is willing to collaborate with you and also congratulate you, Madam Prof. Chioma Asidi, on the wonderful role you're playing in bringing psycho-oncology to the forefront in Nigeria. And congratulate also as the Vice President of International Psycho-Oncology Society. We are here to, once again, I want to say that to assure you the support and perspective of and leadership of Nigerian Cancer Society and indeed all cancer advocates in Nigeria. We congratulate you on this day, celebrating the World Psycho-Oncology Day. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We're looking forward to this collaboration and we're looking forward to this committee on psycho-oncology. Thank you. Please, our regards to Professor Omonit. Thank you. So we want to ask an NGO representative here. Dr. Foluke Saremiye will be answering a question for us. So, Dr. Saremiye, we want to find out how can NGOs complement government efforts to close psycho-oncology care gap in Nigeria?
Good evening.
Dr. Saremiye,
yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, I can hear you faintly.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, good evening, Prof. Good evening.
Good
evening, Dr. Akindoye, our survivors, our family caregivers, and everyone present. It's always pleasant to be in the forum discussing how to advance the frontiers of psycho-oncology. So I'm always pleased to discuss and then to join in such conversations. So for non-governmental organizations in this context in Nigeria, I see that we serve as a bridge between policy and the people. That is what government sort of falls short, and non-governmental organizations can come in. Concerning particularly now psychosocial oncology care, initially when non-governmental organizations are set up, particularly in the cancer space, over the years, what we've seen is more of things like raising funds and advocacy for screening and treatment. Very few non-governmental organizations have sort of improvised or embedded initiatives or programs that include mental health, psychosocial, oncological cares in their interventions or in their programs. But lately, in the past few years, because of the advocacy being amplified by psycho-oncology, and the importance of knowing that it's not just the physical human that that bothers an individual diagnosed with cancer, but there are also so many psychosocial issues that come along with it. So we've seen now more and more NGOs, including besides raising funds for screening or treatment or just amplifying cancer awareness, debunking cancer myths. We're beginning to see now in NGOs, people, organizations raising or creating initiatives and then programs that provide mental health counseling. So being that we serve as a bridge, because it's something that's it's multifactorial, it's multifaceted. Cancer care is huge, it's large, it's holistic. The government has a part to play, the NGO has a part to play. So we'll complement by helping in the programs already set by the government, and then also provide initiatives that could help to bring it to the forefront. For example, like human resources, providing voluntary services in the hospitals. In our hospitals, where particularly in hospitals where in centers where psycho-oncology cares are not provided, NGOs can provide such for the department or for a unit taking care of cancer patients. You could go there as a team, or go there as a volunteering team, and then ask that this particular aspect we observed is not given to the patients. Can we fill in the gap? Because we know that doctors are very busy, nurses are also very busy. Can this particular group, can we provide the services for these patients? So filling human resources gaps by providing the service itself, and then also helping in training community health workers to provide basic psychosocial care. Also, one of the ways that we could also complement is to keep amplifying and advocating for policy changes, pushing that psycho-oncological services can be integrated into national cancer control programs, being part of the voices that are amplifying and making the importance of integrating psycho-oncological services into our normal routine. And then also, one of the ways that we can also complement is building trust within communities and formal institutions, where some of the informal institutions, not every oncology or oncology healthcare professional might really have the time to go out to the community to advocate or to talk about cancer. So if NGOs can go there, who are trained who are trained and who are trained properly in oncology, and then also in providing psycho-oncological care, if they go to the communities, they can help, if they'll get to community, they will have proper community entry, they'll be able to educate people upon cancer myths, and then encourage them that this kind of services are available and could be provided for in the hospital or in the formal institution. So this way, NGOs can complement the works that the government does. Also, our interventions must also be culturally sensitive, and what is applicable to people and what people can relate to it is also very important when we are providing or trying to complement the services that are already institutionalized in the hospitals. Also, in terms of joining in psycho-educational workshops, and when that is available, it's also one of the ways that we could help in complementing the government, besides, trying to raise funds for screening and then treatment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Before we continue, I want to recognize the presence of Professor Michael Asuzu, who is a member of the Board of Trustees of POSON. I think he has joined the call. So you are welcome, Prof. And I want to also, before we continue, I want to use this opportunity to advertise our program, Masters in Psycho-Oncology, which is domiciled in the Department of Radiation Oncology, University of Ibadan. As we have heard from the horse's mouth, they are going to be launching psycho-oncology clinics for all the cancer centers. And the implications is that we need staff, trained staff to run this clinic. So this is an opportunity for us to use this opportunity, tell people about our programs, and let people young people,
Yes,
people who have psychology, counseling psychology, clinical psychology, health education, and nurses, doctors, those who are interested to please access this program because they'll be doing huge services to this country and to the patients directly. Now we want to see, because we have a few minutes to go, we want to see whether there is any question from the participants. If you have any question to ask any of the panelists, please, you can unmute yourself and raise up your hand. Use the raising of hand and do that. I'll wait for a few minutes in case there's any question from the participants. Kate, you want to ask any question? Do you want to ask any question? In absence of no question, while we wait for any question, we'll ask Dr. Folashere, if he's still on the call. Is he still on the call?
There's a question on the chat box.
Yes, I want to check whether he's still here because he said he was on the road. But while we're waiting for him to come, I'll ask Dr. Aki Odonye to please illustrate for us the models of collaboration between oncologists and mental health professionals that could be recommended.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma. Now, there are different models of collaboration that have been traditionally used between mental health practitioners and oncologists in attempts to take care of patients. And so we have the integrated mental health services, we have the consultancy layers in psychiatry, and there's also the use of care managers. And so with the most commonly desired is the collaborative embedded care model, where within the oncology unit or clinic or hospital, there is the mental health practitioner. I will call them the psycho-oncologists, right? We've already said that the psycho-oncology is a multidisciplinary team. And what that means then is that within that department or the clinic, then there should be a psycho-oncology unit with different disciplines represented within it. And so the idea is if a patient is experiencing a particular distress, maybe it's related to diet, maybe it's related to spirituality or sexuality, whatever, or a mental health issue, then that individual is referred to the specific staff within the psycho-oncology unit that would address it. And that is where it is important to have the distress thermometer, screening for distress. Because when you screen for distress, then you'll be able to properly triage the specialists within the psycho-oncology unit that would see that patient. And so the embedded model, the collaborative care model that is embedded within the within the oncology hospital or clinic is preferred. We know that there is the consultation liaison, where maybe when there is a problem or when the patient is recognized as experiencing distress, then the consultation is written to an outside clinic, you know, maybe another department entirely. And given the kind of stigmatization that mental health often experiences, you know, there's the cancer and now mental health. Sometimes patients are even reluctant to go on to that. But if the psycho-oncology team is embedded, they see them as part of the entire treating team. And so it's easier for them to assess the psycho-oncologist than them going out to maybe a psychiatric clinic or a clinical psychology clinic. Because the question is, do they think I am mad? Do they think something is wrong with me? And it is less stressful for them since it is still within the same space. So I advocate for the embedded collaborative care model that would allow a mental health professional to be employed or designated within the psycho-oncology unit. We know that in hospitals, there are different departments, but we could work out something where there is a psycho-oncology unit and people from different key departments are deployed to that unit to stay there for at least, say, 6 months, so that they are familiar to the patients, and the patients can easily seek them out whenever they are experiencing distress in whatever form. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's clear, because we want to reduce stigmatization in our patients. This model is a global practice model, and it's the model that is recommended globally, and it's the model that people in high-income countries use, because they will see this category member of staff every day, and it's easy for them to assess them without feeling stigmatized. So we thank God that, and we are hoping that this is the model that will be used and every cancer center will be running. And so we want to ask Ms. Olushola if she has anything she can add within 2 minutes. Ms. Olushola, I want to find out, can you let us know how survivors can play more active role in the cancer care? Is she still with us?
Yes, ma. Yes, ma. Yes, ma.
Let us know how you can play more active role. Yes.
Okay, so I will
Based on
speak
your
with my
experience.
own.
Yes.
Yes.
Experience.
So
yes.
Yes. So after my treatment, moving forward, I started talking to people. Maybe when I go for my checkup, I'll go to the chemo room. I'll give them my numbers. I'll tell them that, okay, I'm your new friend, though. If you want to smile, if you want to cry, always reach out to me. And most of them, they do. And I follow up, which is very, very helpful, because they believe that, okay, I've been there. I understand how they are feeling when nobody does, which has been super, super helpful. But I wish I can do more, because at times I have my own things that I want to, as in sometimes I just want to, I don't feel like talking. But then when they reach out, I don't have any choice. I have to attend to them, because I know for them to reach out, they really want to speak to someone. So like the clinic I use, I'm not so sure that we have a psycho-oncology, because I can remember when they told me that I should go to see a psychiatric doctor. I didn't go because of the stress of going to remove folder and the whole lot of stress. But like doctor said, if there is an embedded psycho-oncologist, probably I will have gone for it, and I won't have been depressed after my old treatment. So that is my own input. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the good work that you are doing. Thank you that you talk to other people, even when you are having your own feelings, but you want to also bring other people out of their own anxiety. And I know the more you talk about trying to help, the more your own anxiety and depression will go away. Because the more you talk about something, the more relieved you will feel. Okay? Thank you. And Izuhunwa Amadasun, you have a question here. I've not seen your question. You said that we should look at Izuhunwa. Do you want to see? You can unmute yourself and say something.
Okay. Good evening, ma'am. Yeah,
Good
sorry,
evening.
I'm at work, so I hope you can still hear me. I'm just trying to talk slow. But my question I was asking is how people can be a part of POSON or at least collaborate, especially people who may not be residing in Nigeria at this moment. If there's any way we could like support or be part of the activities of POSON. That's my question. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. Yes, when the president was talking about it, she actually give a contact of a counter. But we have a form. If you can text us your email or your contact, we have a form. You can become a member of Psycho-Oncology Society of Nigeria. We are also online. You can become a member of Psycho-Oncology Society of Nigeria. You can also become a member International Psycho-Oncology Society. If you Google any of them, you will see the contacts, you will see the website, you will see how, if you're a new member, you will see where to click, and you will see how to become a member. Please, we want to encourage people, be a member of POSON. Then you can also be a member of IPOS, because it's good for us to work together, to collaborate, to advocate, and so that we can do more things. And like we said, we are saying, God has been gracious to us. We have gotten to the executive management of IPOS. Just one step. So we need a lot of support, because this post is not just for Professor Chioma Asuzu. It's for POSON. It's for NICRAT. It's for Nigeria. It's for Federal Ministry of Health. It's for all of us, so that they will say, when she was there, they could see visible things that were done. And so that's why we need this collaboration. And the president has brought out how you can get involved. The slide is showing now. Please, we are happy to have you. Join us. You are most welcome. And so we want to ask Surveyor, so please, if you have 1 minute, you can say something before we round up. Then another minute. Is Surveyor there?
Yes, I'm with you, ma. I'm here.
Okay, do you have 1 minute to say something?
Okay, what I want to say is that despite all that happened, we still keep pushing. And that you have lost someone, or you've gone through some mental stress during the process of trying to care for a cancer patient. That doesn't mean you should pack off, because I've met with so many persons whom probably they lost someone to cancer, or they went through this mental stress and all of that, and they just pack up. This is the most time you should be able to encourage someone. It's just like I said about my case. I'm doing my best to ensure that no one go through what I went through. And the reason is because it is impactful. It is so, the negative impact of it is so massive that personally, I wouldn't want anybody to go through that. So, and it's the reason why you see I'm pushing, I'm doing what I can do to ensure I care for cancer patients. I think this is just a little what I want to say, that we should try and look out to them and support POSON. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Professor Ali Gombe, I don't know whether you have a parting word for us.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Cancer management is holistic. It doesn't have to do only with the physical management of the physical disease. We also have to manage the psychosocial issues of the disease. Therefore, this only reminds us that behind every diagnosis, there is a story. There is a future hanging in the balance. And so it goes beyond those giving chemo, radio, or surgery. It involves hope, dignity, and then mental resilience. So we want to continue to support multidisciplinary team efforts, which will include psychosocial care for our patients in order to have holistic care for the patient. Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Dr. Chikadibia, any word for us?
Just to congratulate all of us. Ideally, all of us supposed to be members of POSON. I have registered, but I have been a little bit not very active. I think I want to encourage all of us. We need psycho-oncology in part of our clinical management of cancer. You cannot manage cancer patients without psycho-oncology. It is very, very crucial. And I hope and believe that very soon, all oncology clinic, we have embedded psycho-oncology clinic as part of our management team. Thank you very much. I congratulate all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Dr. Saramiye, any one word?
Yes, I just want to encourage, yes, Prof. I just want to encourage non-governmental organizations in the cancer space that while we advocate to raise funds for different aspects, we should also include psychosocial care in our initiatives and programs.
Thank you very much. Dr. Akiodonye, do you have final words for us? The president of POSON.
I want to say thank you very much to every one of us that made out time to attend this very important webinar, the DG NICRAT, the VP representing the president of NCS, National Drug Cancer Society, the HOD of the Radiation Oncology Department, every one of us, I thank us. What I just want to add a little is that every one of us as healthcare providers within the oncology space should create time to continue to improve ourselves. The Master's in Psycho-Oncology program is open and it's available for every one of us to up our skills. There are resources on the IPOS website that we can also use to up our skills in taking care of the psychosocial issues that patients may experience. And just doing the little bit you are in whatever corner of the hospital you find yourself would go a long way into relieving stress. Even though when we talk about psycho-oncology, most of the time we think about just the patient alone. Psycho-oncology goes just beyond the patient. Even we as healthcare providers working within the cancer space, we experience burnout. We experience fatigue from seeing so much suffering because we are humans too. Even as healthcare providers, we need psycho-oncological services, and we should not, be afraid to seek help, to talk about these things. And even out there, we should support people with cancer. We should do all we can to ensure that within our different hospitals, psycho-oncology finds a space. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Somebody has a question, Salako. Somebody was raising her hand. Do you still want to ask the question?
Hello, good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. I want to appreciate you for this wonderful program. I just have a little comment to make. So I was thinking probably if it is possible for the stakeholders to actually make available some simple validated tools in our oncology clinic so that we can actually make use of them to assess our patient, probably if they will need a very intensive or psycho-oncology care. So I've been trying to raise up my hand before, but I noticed that the program is almost.
I just saw it. I just saw it now. Thank you very much. Which center are you from?
Another thing is that I don't know what, because in some cases, the relative will prefer to keep patient in a dark. So they don't want us to tell the patient about what actually happened to the patient. What do you think we can do in such a situation, man? I think you understand the second question, sir.
Yes, okay, I said that the patients, because they are afraid that if that was what was happening long time ago. If you hear this history of psycho-oncology, there was a time they were doing it, they thought they are doing it out of compassion, out of sympathy. But people want to know what is wrong with him so that the person can heal, be anxious, but it will be through a process. So that is all that what we are trying to do, that psycho-oncology is not just for patients alone, it's also for the caregivers, for them to understand the process of the disease, the concept, the process, the management, and so that if they understand it, they will not put the patients in the dark. It's because they don't know. And that's why we need to join our hands. And so we are so excited today that the government has spoken, and Professor Ali Gombe is here representing the GG NICRAT, and that very soon psycho-oncology clinics will be launched. And all these things, there will be this document, there will be these screening tools, and there are people will be trained on how to use them, and they'll be able to use them. And we triage from there. You will see that even the patient's satisfaction will be high. The caregiver satisfaction will be high, and everyone will be high. And so we need to read, we need to get interested about this psycho-oncology and what we can do, how we can use it to help our patients. We need a lot of money to help patients. There's financial toxicity. One of the things that we are doing today is also how to raise funds, support fundraising, to be able to help patients, to be able to help engage in training, to be able to help people engage in training, how they can talk about psycho-oncology. So today, that is World Cancer Day, we are using it to raise awareness about global recognition of psycho-oncology as an essential component of cancer care. I think we have done that this evening. We also use today to honor Jimmie Holland, who laid the foundation for psycho-oncology globally, who founded it. We're using this opportunity to engage stakeholders. Today, we have NICRAT with us, we have Nigerian Cancer Society with us, we also have NGOs here with us. People who have experienced cancers are here with us. And so the health workers are also here with us. And so that is what we want, and we want to encourage all of us to get engaged, to get involved, do something good for the patients. We don't want patients to come to the hospital and they are angry. They are unhappy. Nobody to talk to them, or people to ignore them, people not to communicate to them properly. We want our patients to be happy, because when they are happy, that will increase their quality of life. They will be happy. They will be happy, and that will increase their quality of life. The life they have to live, they will live it with maximum satisfaction. That's what we're doing, and that's what psycho-oncology is all about. So on behalf of International Psycho-Oncology Society, I want to thank everyone that is here. All the participants, you people are most welcome. We thank you. And we want to thank the panelists, starting from the DG NICRAT, being ably represented with Professor Musa Ali Gombe, the Vice President of Nigerian Cancer Society, who is representing Professor Monisi, the President, the President of Psycho-Oncology Society of Nigeria, Dr. Elizabeth Aki-Odonye, the Professor Fola Shere, Professor, the Head of Department of Radiation Oncology, Dr. Foluke Saremiye, who is also a radiation oncologist, but in this call representing an AGO. Mrs. Isolushola Akapo, please, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you. You made a difference this evening staying with us. And Surveyor Letter Okegene, thank you very much for telling us your story. Once again, I want to thank all the executive of POSON, Dr. Joyce Tewase, and all the other members. I appreciate you. All the members of POSON here present, I thank you for joining. All the other people that joined, please, thank you. You have made it a day for us. Thank you very much. Thank you. The MC who joined us, please, I want to thank you very much. And right now, I will hand over to her to end the program.
Dr. Remire, please.
Okay,
thank you
so much.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you, panelists. Thank you so much. It was really a wonderful discussion and I learned so much. Thank you. Thank you. So I want to have our closing remark.
So once again, we want to thank everyone for being here this evening on behalf of the Psycho-Oncology Society of Nigeria and also International Psycho-Oncology Society. On behalf of our president, Dr. Elizabeth Akin-Odonye, everyone present here, Professor Chioma Azuzu, we thank you so much for making it such a great, delightful, inspiring evening. We don't take it lightly. We thank every member of the panelists, the DG, if represented by Professor Musa Ali Gombe from NICROT. We thank our cancer survivors, Ms. Olushula Kapo, our brother engineer, Surveyor Leta Akilgene. We thank the head of the department, Dr. Folashiri, Ayomide Folashiri, and also other members that are here and participants. Your presence has made it such an impactful and inspiring evening. Everything that has been shared today, we've become advocates. We are going now understanding that some cancer diagnosis isn't just a physical ailment, but also comes with psychosocial issues, and we all have a part to play in our sphere of influence. You're welcome to join our society, and then when you join, you would get the opportunity to know other aspects of what we do. The contacts and the details to join the Psycho-Oncology Society of Nigeria has been shared earlier. I believe our president can also share it again before we wrap up and call it an evening. Thank you so much. This day is very special and is going to be a recurring thing every year, amplifying and celebrating the impact of Professor Jimmie Holland, amplifying the impact of and the legacy of what she's done, and also the importance of incorporating psycho-oncological care in comprehensive cancer care. So World Psycho-Oncology Day, celebrated April 9th, even though we're having our webinar today, has been declared an annual day to amplify psycho-oncology. And then we hope to have this every year and to see you next time we all gather. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening.